still. And he took that 25 cents when we went back to Kingsley, and he went to the drugstore and chose very carefully. Candy bars were a nickel. He had 25 cents. So he would very carefully choose a particular candy bar for Mike and for Amanda and for Charlie and Joe. And then one for himself. He
What was the shot for, though? The shot.
he had an immune deficiency, so he had to get shots for it. And when he and Joe were going to get new shoes, and there was something called engineer boots that were popular at that time. And you know, Joe has foot trouble, so they were going to go get engineer boots. We took them to get their engineer boots, and Johnny was fitted first, got his engineer boots, and was so excited, and they couldn't fit Joe, and he was crying and crying and crying. Well, we had to get something close, but it wasn't engineer boots. And so Johnny said, well, I don't really like these, so I want some just like Joe's. If someone was on my lap, if Johnny was on my lap and someone else wanted to get on, he'd just get down. It's okay. So he was interesting because he was like from another world, and a lot of people saw that. And when he did die, it was the whole community was affected. So I think sometimes he was here to teach us something, and I'm not sure we listened.
If he was here, if he was alive, what would you say to him?
If he was here and he was alive,
What would you say to him?
oh, what would I say to him? I guess I would say thank you.
Okay, here's the fun part. I remember Uncle Mike talked about Joe's football history, but no one ever talked about that.
Joe's football history?
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the most pivotal moment of Joe's high school football career.
Oh, I certainly remember the pivotal moment.
Yeah, what was it?
He had a goal of beating Hudson. It was two towns close together, rivals, and that was his goal every year. And there were the year he thought it could happen, the two players that could have helped make it happen, the two really best players, except for Joe, chose to play golf instead of football, and that was very difficult for Joe. And they did have their game with Hudson, and they came close. And Joe will never forgive those two guys for choosing golf, but he was a good football player. I watched him. I mean, that's the only thing I saw on the football field, was watching my son and making sure he put his mouthpiece